Are we live yet? I'm gonna make this thing happen. I think we got it. I think we got it. Y'all probably hear nothing but that. Are we live yet? Hello. Hello. Can't tell what microphone we're using. I'm gonna make this thing happen. I think we got it. Give people a second. We're gonna go over Woodrow Wilson. We got it. Oh, well, y'all are just hearing me. I'm gonna try to go into the YouTube app. And by they, I need to figure out a better way to do this. I don't know why I can't get my DJI microphone, Action 5 to stream properly. I'm gonna try to take this microphone though. Y'all are probably hearing a bunch of noise and stuff. But dang, y'all gotta just put up with me, you know? Live right now, right? No, come on, now it ain't freaking loading. I want to be able to see comments and everything. Guys, we're going to get started on the Woodrow Wilson update very soon once I figure out how YouTube works, I guess. Do I just got to stay on this? I want to be able to see comments and everything. I'm getting started on the Woodrow Wilson update very soon. Figure out how YouTube works, I guess. This wind muff, I may need it. I don't know. Here, let me put it. I'm so sorry for my awful setup and the way y'all got to look at me. Hey, down there. As y'all can tell, I'm a professional that works on traffic lights, not being good at this stuff. More or less, this is just going to film. Why? I can't in the comments, though. I don't know where to get to the comment section. Nothing? Just on the YouTube app itself, I got nothing. What about in the GoPro app? Well, it'd be real cool if I could figure this out. My goodness, hold on. I can just kind of set y'all down for a second. Y'all are just going to see all over my truck right now. We'll see how bad the wind gets. All right, the moment I figure out how this works, I'm gonna try to get y'all set up better. I swear I was able to just be on the app one time. Nothing's showing up. Hold on. I may. Good. Look at all of y'all. Y'all already been in here crushing it. We have audio. Sounding fine. Good morning, guys. For the birds. What's up, Sydney, Australia? That sounds pretty incredible. I want to be there compared to here. Let's. Give me 2 seconds. Audio is fine with mic on your hat. But no problem if you want to move it. Yeah, I typically like it up there on the hat, and it works good. Now, I can actually see the comments now. It's working sort of properly. Hopefully I didn't show y'all anything on there. All right. let's get started. The long await of this Woodrow Wilson project. Want to reference right now, I'm probably not hitting the right button, sorry guys, but for right now, please make sure to hit like, share, whatever you want to do, blah blah blah, more or less just view, and I'll try to make a video out of this too where I'll cut it up a little better, and you know, the update will be more than just a live. But this job, we have very little working days left because of how equipment came in, how, you know, as a prime contractor on this one, we weren't necessarily ready on certain paperwork to get started right away when they had the start date open. Long story short, we have very limited amount of time before we get into liquidating damages on this job. So it's been a little bit of tunnel vision of just focused on getting work done the past couple weeks. So that's the reason for the lack of the videos, and that's more or less the reason for just doing a live. Been working nights into days, nights, you know, I pretty much got off work at 3 a.m. last night, had a meeting at 7:30 this morning. Pretty much I've been working 15 to 20 hours a day. My guys, they're working a bunch over. They're going to be getting 60-hour weeks until this job is done for the most part. But we're trying to get it knocked out. Now, the boring part's out the way. That's the reason for the lack of the videos. I do apologize. We'll get back to normal scheduling as good as I can with the videos here shortly, back in the coming up weeks. Hey, you guys look for a smart, competent guy who can run circles around these guys. Sounds like my type of dude. I'm all in. We actually have a few good, competent guys right now. That's been very helpful on having it, but I am with you. I do agree. I wish the pay was better, so it'd be easier to find competent guys. But long story short, it is what it is. Let's get into the process. We are at Meggers Evans Boulevard and Livingston here in Jackson, Mississippi, where we've been upgrading this intersection. Let me hopefully not accidentally hit the wrong buttons and end the live. I hope my thing's charging. I don't know. If it's just randomly dies, then it is what it is. I'm gonna set y'all down in 1 second so I can get prepped. Yep, work, family. Well, God, dude, you are literally my boss. And you must be Mr. Gene. That was his motto. Work comes first, then family, then the rest of the shit. Hilarious. All right, let's get strapped up. Oh no. Hey, I'll have to get a new holster. One of my pins on my holster just broke. Well, still gonna have it on there. It's gonna have to just be held up by one right now. Not on you guys, on a me thing. My protection. Can't see comments right now for a second. Let me lock up my bins or lock up my doors so nobody takes my truck. It's actually been fairly decent out here. We haven't had anybody do anything too stupid to us these past 2 weeks. And when I tell y'all, man, missing videos, I would have, I don't know, plenty of viral videos. First night working, dude shot up the store that was beside us and then like hauled butt through the intersection. Would have been good footage. Long story short, I would rather none of this happen. Then some dude supposedly right down the road from here while we were working here at Livingston, a guy set a truck on fire and then was brandishing a firearm around. Been a good handful of things. Most of everybody, 95% of the people though, have been very respectful, very easy to work around, work with. Haven't had much of anything stolen. Hell, even had a couple of the guys, the homeless guys that like to collect stuff, he even asked for the scrap cable at the intersection we're working at, or these intersections. So I gave him a good handful for him to go get some quarters, I guess. But let's get more into the questions and let's get into it. You have a CDL? Yeah, my mother taught. How many work in the company? We have, Jim, we have about 15 to 18 employees right now, I want to say. So we're not a huge company by any means. But here is Woodrow Wilson. You can see we have new heads, mast arms. Detection's not running just yet, but we will have that running by the end of the week. Lacking a couple street name signs. Got to tear down old span wires. Got to, do a few extra things here, but majority of the stuff is done besides removal of old equipment. You can kind of tell here too. These have some long visors that I like a lot more than louvers. If y'all have ever dealt with either of these in traffic signal world, you just kind of roll these visors to the direction of the approach you don't want them to see. So this approach, we don't want, that stop bar is being moved back. I already have it temped off with some striping, but nobody's really listening to it until the other stop bar gets grinded off. But those heads, they can't see the other approaches that they would typically be able to see because of these extra long visors. They look good. I like them so far. Pedestrian items out here that we have. We have a bunch of pedestrian items, all of it on Woodrow Wilson. This job did not include the ADA improvements, and supposedly it is a future job that's coming very soon. So right now, all of our pedestrian items, we're setting up, getting programmed, ready to go, and then we're just going to bag and cover until that next project where the ADA improvement's done. So that's a little bit of the basics here, and we're going to drive out every intersection. That's to do lines and traffic control. Man, they put this little heart thing right on the newest comment. What do we do with the old signal heads? Great question. These ones on this job, I guess these intersections have been hit enough where they're fairly new, look good. They're going to go into our stock of signal heads for maintenance. I'll give a couple away. I like to try to give an inspector or engineer, whoever that's over us, if they want. I typically offer up a signal head to them, and a couple things like that. I like to give away to the people that are around, a couple for the most part, and then the rest we kind of keep in our stock. Hard to get with anybody with the city, so I'm not gonna break into their yard again just to deliver old equipment when I've already had to do it to pick up equipment for this job. So no, I'm not gonna hunt to give it back to the city. We're just gonna keep a lot of that stuff in stock, and that's typically what we do with signal heads. They either get junked, given away, or we put them in stock for emergency calls where you need a new head. Morning, morning, morning. Looks good what you've done so far. I agree. These foundations ended up leaning in. This one leaned in. We had a big excavator when we dug it out, so this whole thing, and I have a video of this whole thing, got dug out too much, and then the soil didn't, hold up very well. Same with this. These cabinets are always top heavy. We just did not pack down well enough on the front of the base. A little lean to it. Not something we're worrying about until we get all our pay items done and complete. Then we're going to come back and make look proper. We do have some crossings here, but they have now removed all the striping off of this project on Woodrow Wilson until that ADA improvement, besides stop bar changes where we have to have those done. And then our striping is only going to be on Glendale Avenue and Bailey by the school. They're going to restripe everything when we do next week sometime. So if everything works out better next week, I'll be able to film a lot more and actually show the week, and it'll kind of slow down a bit where the focus doesn't have to all be on work, and again, hopefully won't have to work these 15 to 20 hour days over and over to make sure everything's going straight. I try to be the one to take all the stress and all the worries, all the scheduling, everything that I can. I try to take away from the guys, put it on me. I'll make it happen. I'll figure out anything we need to get done. And then my guys, they can just show up to work and do their jobs. That's what I like to have happen. And then clearly, y'all see the videos, you already know what we do and what I do for work. Josh, great question. No, we do not do the striping. We have that subbed out. Funny enough, they just told us they did not put sweeping in the price, so we got to rent a sweeper, and we will do the sweeping. But what happened? I wish I could meet you and have lunch with you. Taught me happily retired traffic cop things I didn't know. That's what it's all about, brother. You ain't got to buy me lunch or anything by any means. I just appreciate you for watching, and always happy to meet fans out in public. It's happened a couple times. Not gonna toot my own horn, but a guy in Lowe's saw my vest and was like, "Hey, you're that dude." It's actually the cool part of the videos, the vest, when the vest comes off. I'm just the regular dude, nobody knows who I am. But then I put a vest on with a giant logo, my logo straight up on the back, and then people will start honking and waving and or stopping me in places and saying what's up, which I'm always happy to do so. Love meeting you guys. Hello, babe. Priscilla, you in there? I now have OCD from watching your videos, make me nitpick every intersection I go through. That's good. You should nitpick everything. Most of the time, these things get turned over to the cities anytime, and then they handle maintenance. Things start getting real sloppy at that point, because say lightning strikes this intersection, takes out half this phase. They come into the cabinet, maybe they got to get to a spare conductor, they got to do something, but they end up ripping out all the cables, and they don't typically dress it up better afterwards. But overall, you know, sometimes I hope I inspire people to just keep things nicer, cleaner, and care a little bit more. We have one back at the shop, an Opticom tester. We have one back at the shop, not going to be used on this job. A lot of the Opticoms are kind of, we're using GPS systems more nowadays than Opticom systems. All right, next questions. What is with the yellow cover that's placed over the signal heads? Does it help with visibility? We don't really have those, but yes, it does. It makes more of a contrast. A lot of the times we use black signal heads with black back plates instead of strippings around them or anything. We've done it a handful of times, but not something we do as often. Yeah, we do have power pulled, ready, hooked up. It just has to be energized. Right now I have power temped off at this intersection, just kind of trenched off and into our power pedestal. So when power company actually gets here, they'll hook up. I need to unland a cable and turn on a breaker. That's all we'll have to do for the power swap side once we actually get a meter in place. All these intersections right now, we have to work them hot because one, power company around here is hard to get a hold of. Two, everything's ran off of a street light circuit, and then they just charge the city a set rate. So there's no breakers, no meters, nothing like that. There, one intersection had a breaker, but the other three were working hot, which is fun. I like doing, which cabinet swaps are done. All of that's done now. So the problem with that is like arcing out, hitting something in the cabinet with it, not only shocking yourself or having issues with yourself, but also damaging equipment. But that is already done at this point and good to go. What's the hardest thing while working on traffic lights when there's active traffic? So we typically will shut down like left turn lanes. If we have to do a lane closure, we'll do some stuff like that to work overhead. But we just roll over, you know, if you got a good ground guy or if you're real knowledgeable on working heights and what you're doing, you can be out here and just knowing the height of your bucket, and you can be out the way of traffic the whole time. But typically, you know, 18-wheelers coming under you and just making sure your height clearance is high enough is what you're looking for. But it's not a hard thing to do, and working over traffic ain't that bad. I always like it. It's kind of adrenaline rushing at times, especially when you're just tearing stuff down and you're just moving and grooving and ripping down heads right over traffic, the whole 9 yards. It can be a little bit fun and yeah, enjoyable of the work wise. You know, some states require a lot more. Some states won't even allow you to do anything over traffic without a lane closure. Luckily for us, that is not the case here. We'll stick up in the middle of the damn road if we have to, and, you know, be out working over anything. You just got to do what you got to do to get the job done. I don't see how places elsewhere, I mean, safety matters, obviously, but I don't see how places elsewhere stay very productive if you got to do a lane closure. I mean, you're talking 4 signal heads in a day and how to move a lane closure 4 times. That's probably all you're getting with out of a bucket truck, when we can run 10 to 12 in a night, depending on the guy. Even the slower end, you know, still would get 6 done with a slower guy, hanging lights and stuff. But Woodrow Wilson, 5 points. It's looking pretty good out here. Mast arms up. We're gonna be working on detection. Let's hop in the truck and go ride down to the other intersections we're working at. At this point, pretty much all the heads are done. The signal heads are done, at least. Pedestrian stuff still needs to be worked on. Detection still needs to be worked on. But we are moving along pretty well on this job. Dang, kind of upset that my holster just felt like that. Like behind reliable stuff. Warm out here too. And if you hear me say anything crazy or dumb again, pretty much knocked off work close to 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and then was up early again to be out here for a meeting. But let's go ride down the road. Hopefully connection stays good or whatever. I was gonna try to use my DJI camera and had it all set up real well to work. Oh wait, video premiere. No, this is a live. I find it really interesting comparing traffic lights and systems between countries. Traffic lights use 240. Yeah, most countries outside of the US use 240 more, which is a lot more efficient. So, you know, draws a hell of a lot less power. But it is what it is. We use 120 on pretty much everything here in the US. And keep it just the same across the board. These roads, man, I tell you what. Well, this back one actually had speed bumps because of the hospital. But Woodrow Wilson itself has speed bumps all over the place because the road conditions are so poor. Yeah, this job has been mentally, and just driving on the roads around here can be very draining on us. The mental side is, there is a lot of, and I guess maybe because the temperature is warming up and everything, a lot of homeless children. And when you have kids, it's tough. So being around here constantly working is another reason why I haven't been filming as much. It's just a mental drain. But let's get to this other intersection of what matters. That stuff matters, obviously, and I wish there were solutions to all of it. I help out where I can, but I can't be there for everybody. It's just unfortunate. I got a couple here, so. Turning around, I don't know what that person's car doing. All right, now this is Woodrow Wilson and Bailey Avenue. We're about to be pulling up to. Right out, y'all. All new heads, new span wire. The old span wires we still got to cut down. We still got our radar cable and 5 conductor. Probably hard to tell right here, but those got to drop down the poles, get into the cabinet. You need a publicist. You can do that too. That would be nice. Hello from North Carolina, Bailey. Good morning. I love you, baby. And Avery. Tell Bailey and Avery I love them. Again, hopefully our internet and everything's working good still. Let's try to get pulled into this best way parking lot. Tell you, this road will rattle your brains out. This is also where we're doing the flasher down there, but we'll kind of make it live and walk around that one. I don't know why I'm charging. I figured charge with this device on it. Maybe it's not plugged in all the way. I don't know. Oh well. Sorry again. I'm all over the place. I don't want to say too much, but our buttons are on level on that pole. Gonna have to be fixed. Gonna have to raise or lower one. All right, answer quick. I'm glad his subs blew up too, man. He works. I try my best, man, for sure. I think it's fascinating. Obvious, there's a bunch of out there that's fascinating, and really and truly, I really hope I get into this world. Not just traffic lights, but you know, just construction industry, blue collar work for the most part. Get out here, make a decent living, and make a difference. Really, is what it's about. You know, you're either powering people's homes, you know, working traffic, trying to make traffic a safer place, just to have better roads. You're working in neighborhoods, you know, that, you know, so on. That, you know, stuff that don't make a difference. We need to make, but we're just strictly for the other time, and you see a real result to the product you're producing and happy people from it. Obviously, you come to Jackson, you work on their roads, try to fix stuff, try to fix their traffic lights. People around here are very grateful for it, which a lot of other time, and it's in some back road. Just all over about it. Yeah, every car that drives going down the what this thing, blah blah blah. But it is there's two sides to every job, I guess. It's rewarding out as you feel, and it's real rewarding. Nice to see the difference. Ah, damn, the stream is really lagging. All right, I seen it. You're telling me to just get out the truck. You just won't let me enjoy a little bit of AC. I gotcha. I tried to enjoy some AC, but y'all are just killing me for that. All right, Woodrow Wilson, Bailey Avenue. Yes, we are missing some signage to go with these flashing yellow arrows. Dang, dude, I hope it's working still. Yes, we are missing some signs. Those are coming in. They got messed up, misprint, not the right fonts. The state's pretty strict about that stuff, so we have to get our sign guy to make some. That's happening. We're gonna get those up shortly. New cabinet installed last night. Could have pushed this corner back. We'll probably be able to loosen that up and square it up on the foundation better. We did two last night, two of the cabinets, pulled cable down the poles, and you know, got the swap overs and knockdowns all at one time. So this one happened around 3 a.m. Right after I pretty much got them down here going after the other intersection that will show, and then I left and went to the hotel room to get a couple hours of sleep before I had to be up again. Y'all remember this pool box in a video. I made a little smaller one showing the result, but I didn't show the final result here. And when I made the video is when all the concrete was wet, so everybody was sitting there, a bunch of comments of there, oh, it looks awful, but it looks pretty good. This all looks good. You know, craziest thing, I can't believe somebody had an open pool box, laid it down, and then when they did this ADA ramp, they just filled it full of concrete. It blows my mind. Wish we can find the previous contractor and back charge them for the work. End of the day, it is what it is. So, I didn't even know if he responded to my question. I'm trying my best to. Some of these are getting past me because I look at one and then I rant. I just talk too much. I did get out the truck. Priscilla, what'd you take the message back for? AC, what's that? I know, right? You're telling me. No time for AC. God, y'all hate me. I'm just kidding. I'm out here, plenty in it, deal with it. Trust me, the amount of swamp ass that's been smelled here recently is too much. It went from wearing jackets to super freaking hot within a couple weeks, it felt like. But yeah, around here, they're gonna be working on radars tonight, getting them wired up, programmed, work on some of the pedestrian stuff. We had 2 pedestal bases we had to do for pedestrians. Those are gonna be sacked up and covered for the time being. Other ones are gonna go on strain poles here, gonna get covered up for the meantime. Again, buttons a little unlevel on the pole here, so we're gonna have to get this fixed. Okay. Ooh, I'm telling you here. Dude, I can rant for a while about some swamp ass. It's been a lot recently. But again, all new heads. We're going to flashing yellow arrows. We split phase this one. I want to say previously it was just 4 and 8, so they would run together, and it makes it hard for people to do left turns. Now it's split phased. Over there we added protected left turns and flashing yellow arrows on the side streets, but we will get to that one here momentarily. Did that McDonald's close? They did. Horn for mayor. He actually won, I believe. I don't really know the politics around here. I don't keep up. So maybe good. Hopefully better than the previous. And yes, that McDonald's for some reason closed up. I know there was a good amount of incidents. One night when we were working out here, somebody got, one of their employees came out to go into their car to leave for the night, and they got robbed. And I think we were working like right over on the corner. I didn't even know anything going on there. It was kind of quiet, but kept having issues with it, and now it's closed down, which is crazy because the one just north of here, Northside Drive, around the same time a few months ago, I believe one of the employees either got stabbed or stabbed somebody, may have killed that person, but that one's still open. We may have to go eat that one later here in a moment. Sounds pretty delicious. But overall, again, it's looking a hell of a lot better here. And I tell you what, when these radars get to work and vehicle detection gets to working out here, these people aren't gonna know what to do. They're gonna be like, oh wow, we can actually follow the traffic lights for once. Because right now, 80% of the people run them because poor detection. Let's open up this cabinet. Let's see how I did last night. See the final product of it. Okay, looks fairly nice in here. All the cabling and everything. Obviously, I told them not to worry about the dress up on the top side. Make our signal cables obviously look good, but the dress up side of things, looks like they had to notch out this conduit. Might be why it's a little catty cornered right now. One bolt right down. We may have this up, or we'll figure out something on that. But overall looks pretty good. I mean, when we fix that, we can just unbolt this cabinet, slide it over. Our cables are good. Looks like the neutral needs more light. Yeah, that top side fixed up and messed up. We just, again, I was worrying about getting the swap overs done. I wanted this stuff done before I left out for the week while they're staying up and working a little bit more. The cabinets near me have 2 doors on both sides. That's an ACT as one of them. It's a whole different kind of cabinet. A lot of places are going to them. They're a little bit more compact, but still have a good amount of open room for them to work on. The only thing we use those on is ITS systems, but none of our signal stuff has those kind of cabinets. We all use NEMA TS1 with TS2 features in our cabinets in Mississippi. This is what we're upgrading to, 12-phase cabinets with, again, majority of it being TS1 with communication stuff being TS2 options here. But we haven't fully integrated to TS2, and we haven't fully integrated to anything different. This stuff right here just is reliable and has worked for more years than I've been alive, so it's hard to swap over, and it's what Temple pushes, which they are our supplier and pretty much help line up everything with products. So it's really non-city. Yeah, you say so. Actually, it hasn't been that bad. We haven't had almost anything stolen. I did forget to show that mast arm. I'm sorry, I get distracted a little bit right there with all the signs we have up for Meggers, Evans Boulevard, and Livingston, where we tore down that sign truss, but y'all saw that. It can be, man. I'm hopeful for the people. How's it going? I'm hopeful for the people. Yeah, overall. But I wish more things would get fixed here. You know, Like right down here, there's an open hole right in the sidewalk. Keep going down the road a little bit, or down the sidewalk a little bit more, there's a wooden pole leaning right into a pedestrian crossing and stuff. So kind of rough, but one day hopefully everything gets fixed and solved around here. But crime to us, we haven't had anything stolen. I'm some redneck that's yelling a lot at night, and I randomly scream. Y'all have watched the videos, so you already know I do that, and I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna keep doing it. And this is one of them places too. If somebody drives by and says something funny, I usually yell and scream some stuff. It's funny, especially here, because you can hear a pin drop of how quiet it gets on this road. The Capitol Police run it a lot at night, so a little bit less people out here. You always get the few wanderers and whatever, but Capitol Police here in Jackson does a pretty fine job of keeping a lot of the traffic stuff situated and people not really coming out and trying to steal things or whatever, at least on the main road. Going to the neighborhood's a different story, is what it is. But I yell a lot, especially at night. It's just funny to me. You haven't had to use the pew pew? Nope. And hopefully will not ever have to use it for the most part. But I am prepared. If the day ever comes, I will protect myself and or my people at any cost. All right, cabinet looked good. Everything's looking pretty decent here. Let's go on down to the next intersection. And yes, more or less an excuse to get into AC. It's hot. The cabinet's hot itself. It's burning my hand. It is nice that we're working nights and away from the heat. But the problem with nights is you have no options for food. You have no options for if you need any kind of hardware. No stores are open. Nothing you can really do. And guys, I do appreciate y'all for watching as well. Oh my goodness, the AC feels good. I don't even care about the audio. I'm turning it up. All right, let me put this thing down. As the whole city, the hood, the west side, let me just say that. And we right here in the west side. But I've done plenty of work around here. Again, you just need a break from it every now and again, because it does get very mentally draining at times in Jackson. Look at this man, dude. He is rolling right over the median with a freaking bed full of stuff. Thing is bogged down. That truck ain't squatted from a lift. It's squatted from all the stuff he has in the back. Dang, why do y'all electrical engineers, you know? Man. Overall, let me see, what did it say? Make them feel like you're crazy, so they like, yeah. Oh man, there was one dude that was he was driving by, and I was in a hole, like buried down, and shirts up or whatever. You can see the Glock, and he's yelling out his window. He's like, "Hey man, hey brother, your piece is showing." And I just turn. I'm like, "Yeah, I like it like that, so nobody fucks with me." And I just got to scream back at him and stuff. But it obviously cool interaction. The dude was fine. But over and over, you do gotta yell, gotta act like crazy. Do I still have the Jeep? Unfortunately, no. Didn't realize how bad Jeeps drove on the interstates and everything, and just needed something a little more reliable. Down the road, I would like to get another, and or like a Bronco or just a truck or something, but we're in the process of trying to buy a house. So that comes first. I'd like to try to get the house and see about getting all debt paid and everything like that, to just make sure my family is set up for the best. And then start buying toys again and stuff. Let me over, sir. You going to? You're kind of mad, but it is what it is. Alrighty, let's get here to the next intersection. This is Avenue, Woodrow Wilson, and Extension. So it veers off into the Bailey Avenue extension. I ain't gonna go much further than the cabinet. I'm not even taking my phone with me. Man, I'm awful at reading comments. I don't know why y'all would ever watch me live. If y'all like this though, give it a thumbs up. Let me know. Everything. I do like doing this. Y'all have any wireless temporary traffic stoplights? We've worked on them, but we always run it. Favorite hole in the wall food spot you found on the road? Dude, I don't know if they're still open. Crazy question that you just said that for. At least here on Woodrow Wilson, on the Bailey Avenue extension, hanger right here, this little building here. I don't know if he's open today, but has some killer Philly cheesesteaks. Great dude, really is a nice guy and everything. Went and had there a couple times. A little pricey. If you got 15 bucks to kill on lunch, go give it a try. If you're around the area, if they're open, that place is phenomenal. Real Philly cheesesteaks. If we're talking about Pearl, Mississippi, there's this place called Frisco Deli that is really good as well. Y'all are making me hungry. My mouth thinking about the Philly cheesesteaks. Are so busy today. Right after this live and everything, I got a lot to do. Probably hit a quick trip or something like that for food. But overall, great Philly cheesesteak. Funny you mentioned that. Here is the cabinet at Bailey Avenue extension. That's what we got done. Cabinet swapped. Again, wasn't worried about tidying up the stuff. But looks well out here. Obviously, we got to raise some span wires. We got to cut down the old span still. Got a few different. Shout the sleeve, but new flashing yellow arrows, radar worked on, pedestrians will get worked on. Pretty much thing at the other intersection. That's killer. Thanks. In the area in Hattiesburg, just south of Hattiesburg, I've had like one bad experience that would almost tell me no. But Roses down there, that's by Southgate intersections, just south of Hattiesburg. Try Roses. It's like almost a gas station, but the gas, no gas pumps, and they cook up some killer freaking barbecue on the inside. Get the brisket, get the lean section of the brisket, they're fat out of the brisket. I get a bad experience with it. It was not melting your mouth, let's just say. But it was late too. We usually pass by and it's 9 o'clock at night or so. They close pretty late, and we'll grab barbecue on the way home. But typically phenomenal. So Roses, they're just south of Hattiesburg on 49 by Southgate. Give that a try if you're in that area. There used to be, dude, you can get me talking about food for a while right now. There used to be a place up in Cleveland, Mississippi called the Place. Top tier. Some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Since it's closed down since the last time I've been and everything, so unfortunately it's not there. But if you ever got to experience that place, be thankful. And it's country style food. What's the oldest traffic light system you've ever worked on? Like any old mechanical controllers? The last one that I know of in the state of a mechanical one was removed just to the company and everything. So not a lot of experience with those. I've toyed around with them, played with them, obviously know how they work. They're fun, unique, cool. But then outside of that, this city right here is where I'll find the oldest equipment. I had a cabinet from 63, 68, something like that, 1973. It was a Transit Corporation cabinet that came out of, dang, she's saying it's lagging a lot. I'll put my phone right next to it. But it was a Transit Corporation cabinet, came out of Jacksonville, ended up in Jackson, Mississippi, and that was real old. This one I had to work on, hunting down diagrams for that and trying to find, because it went from Transit to or it may have went to a different company and then to Peak. I literally had to get on the horn with my Temple rep guy, and he had to like kind of be like, oh, hold on, I know a little bit about him, and kind of gave me leads on who. Dang, I'm lagging awfully bad. But overall, there's some old cabinets, and Jackson, Mississippi repurposes any kind of enclosure for the most part. So they have some old stuff. Worked on a bunch of cabinets from the 80s and stuff, but that's pretty typical TS1 cabinets at that point, nothing much different. I guess if I'm lagging this bad, let me try to leave the area and show, because pretty much same thing here. We still got work to do, still got an amount of stuff to knock out. It is good. Give me my key. Oh, warm again. Time to move to a different intersection. Hard to understand what you were cutting in and saying, damn, hold on, the next area get better. And or worse, who knows. Let's go drive down to the next intersection. See, last one, y'all are like, the truck, get out of the truck. Heat. I think it's probably just getting. Just caught about. I'm not trying to do that tomorrow. This is where it saves a lot right here. This building got shot up the other night. They were closed down, and there's a homeless dude living in that dumpster. And boy, when I tell you, he was there, he was still there and everything, so I think he's okay. But man, was I nervous. I thought we may have lost a guy in there, and just had a drive by, and then that car just sped past us while we were working the section. And maybe. Damn, again, y'all probably didn't even hear that. The saves a lot got shot up. Crazy stuff around here. But again, nothing targeted towards us. There's usually a good amount of gang violence and stuff like that around here, but they don't seem to bother the people that are working construction. What they will do is just kind of search inside your vehicle and see if there's anything that's quick and easy to grab and walk away. They don't want confrontation. But if you make eye contact, they typically leave on there. A lot of times I've seen them like leaning over. I've literally a different job over on McDowell and Terry when I was doing that one. Had a guy reaching in my bed trying to take stuff, and he's looking down in the bed. I'm across the street carrying and everything, but I conceal carry, so they don't know that. And he looks up, makes eye contact, and I just see him drop what he had and then turn around and start walking away. I was like, pretty easy deterrent right there. You just look at them and they stop. So, this intersection is going to need some improvements. I have ideas we have loop and everything, the cross traffic working here, but it will get locked because you pull into here, the new mast arm we installed immediately turns red because it's phase 6, and that's like phase 3, I want to say. So my head, best route to do is put louvers on these lights for sight distance, where you can only see them as you approach the heads, and then make the section, these two heads can overlap, where with phase 3 will go green and phase 6 will go green. That is not how they have it set up to plans. They have it set up kind of stating, so I can't do it until I get the project to approve that, and there is absolutely almost impossible to get any kind of funding for anything around here outside of the initial funding. What did I say, initial? Sorry guys, getting 3 hours of sleep or so, and then back out here. All right, this is Glendale Avenue and Bailey. Element. Saves a lot, takes lives. Jeez, that's scary. I used to live in as Africa, so no stranger to that. Yeah, again, man, I've worked around it enough. I still feel like Jackson, again, with gang violence and stuff like that, it can always be a little bit rough. And then you got those, damn, I'm lagging again, but you got privileged communities too that typically steal more, and you'll have more issues with people out of that. Let's get out the truck and let's go take a look here as well. Make sure we lock up the truck. Oh, damn, really wanted this guy to work right here. Action 5, I'm gonna have to figure this out on streaming, but whenever I try to with it, it immediately just shows my banner screen, and it doesn't film me or whatever, so it's been like 2 or 3 times I've tried. And I kind of want to do this more often. If I could figure out an internet process, I'd probably do it a lot more often. I do have a manhole cover with me that I can put on. Somebody ripped that off the pole, or it fell off and they took it, but right now we just got a garbage bag covering it. I think at the time we had no heads up there and cables dangling out, so it looked like some easy money to rip out of a pole and take. They probably pulled on it, saw they would have gotten, you know, 12 cents for all the cable, or $1.50 if they burned it all and cleaned it. So they just left it, thankfully. But drought poles are up, heads are up, they're running like they school is not really in session right now. I think they have some summer school stuff here. Pedestrian button, as you see, button turned on, this head's on, got the hand across, but the crossing light here in a second. Jovette, how's it going, brother? Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm using my phone, but I don't know if it's either the GoPro getting hot, so I like that DJI one more, it doesn't tend to do that, or my internet connection is just being poor. Oh, these guys are lining up. You see, that's where it kind of gridlocks at. It gets stopped back here and it has an issue. Pedestrian button's working here. We're gonna have to do some kind of collar if they want us to around this base. Maybe drill in a little bit of rebar, some concrete on it. Just all this down sidewalk, and last moment looking into it, just went, screw it. I'd rather have a concrete pad around it. Looks better. It's sturdy. It's holding. It's doing great. It won't ever move, but I don't love the with the base coming out of the ground, because we use drill-in bases there because we have a utility. There's a fiber line that runs along that pull box there and goes through, so we had a post hole dig right up to the pull box on that guy. I'm in there, sir. I know y'all will. Dedicated fact. We'll see through it before. I do appreciate it. All your trees need to be sure. This is just get so bad. Right? If I hit on here, it's set. That's a wild approach at a hard. Must be frozen. Saying use recording in it. Maybe 2 phones. I'll read the comment now. Buffering it. Doing it. Maybe that I'm doing good. We did heads out over this operation like it should. dude. It's gonna not work. Show y'all something. All this freaking flusher cabinet. I'm gonna get over there and show y'all. If it's the last thing I gotta do. All right. If y'all can even tell, you see that wooden pole leaning? It's been driving me insane for months. We got a school flasher system we got to do. Let me show you this cabinet, and I'm going to end the live. That's for the school flasher. Love them old Z71s right here. The Chevy, the cat eyes. Looks good, man. I like this truck. All right, again, the crazy approach here. And a lot of these people are treating it like stop and go. This whole setup's more or less designed for the school itself and what's going on there and getting backed up. So they may be trying to separate the phases later or do something like that. But this little flasher, this Eagle cabinet here, I love it. I can't wait to tear it off and add it to my collection. I'm keeping this guy. The insides, hold on, I gotta reveal it one by one. I gotta make sure, y'all, is it coming in good? And now it's working again. I see it's just jacks, and maybe it's when I get close to these communication lines and power lines and stuff that the internet's starting to fail. So can everybody see it's working good? Okay, working okay. This is very important to me to show y'all this because it's funny. That's pretty much it. But one, I love this enclosure. Going to keep that. Two, let's open the enclosure and show you. Look at this right here, what they got going on. I turned this back off. Who turned it back on? I thought I turned it off at least. Let me just kill power to it. That is a freaking light switch. No breaker. This is what they're using around here. This crossing guard will come out here. I was opening this, flipping this light switch right here. This hazard we got going on. They did put electrical tape on the switch itself. Pretty proud of that. Then you got your flasher here. And a relay that may be doing anything, or no, that's a fuse. Fuse right here. So, hell, maybe the fuse is just blown. I don't even know where I'd find one of those types of fuses anymore, though. You just have to replace that with like a fuse kit. Would go a lot better. But a light switch, this is absolutely crazy. This is actually a fairly newer load cell too. So somebody did replace that, trying to think it would work. But I'm pretty positive this fuse ain't working or is blown. Because I don't think any of the flashers work out here right now. But y'all love that, right? Yeah. Give me like 2 seconds and you'll hear that, Jovit. But funny enough, I did not, maybe I did open this up, but I wouldn't have been so surprised. We have a delay on the cabinet, the new enclosure that's coming. Which made me come over here and look and try to see how power's running. So there is power to it. Everything right now is running right up to the circuits that's running right off of the primaries and stuff out here. So it's gonna be pretty dangerous working on it. But it is what it is at the end of the day. A lot of the cable for this flasher system has been cut and dropped down. It's cut up on that pole. The span wire that was jumping from there and then over to the other flasher, it's cut and dropped. So we got to run a lot of new span wire. None of it's accounted for in the job, so we got to get it approved, which is a problem because they don't have money for any of it. But we're going to try to get it approved and then run like a tether wire all the way across and then run a 4-conductor cable to this guy here. New cabinet, obviously. Keep the old riser probably, because I really don't want to try to rip out the hot cables out of a rigid conduit and then rip stuff back in. And God forbid, all that stuff is probably frayed up pretty well up top while dealing with live circuits right above us. That is not going to be a good one for the metal truck we have. I don't want anybody to get off that. But fun stuff. That's something we're going to be hopefully knocking out next week. But I really figured y'all would like seeing this. Let's go ahead. We're in the live. I walk the truck. The AC is calling my name. Let's close that up. Oh my goodness. I love this cabinet though. I wish somebody didn't scuff it up. It's like a crown or something. But I can get some aluminum. I think it's that brand stuff. call it, and I can get all this cleaned up. Or this may just be galvanized still. Probably still. Aluminum to me. So there's polish it up. Probably polish it back, drop it, put it in the garage, be all sit around. Like it a lot. Nah, crappy again. When was this intersection put in? I'd have to go through the old cabinet, get replaced, but a hell of a cabinet. So a long time ago, stuff 6 months ago, I think they're here. LEDs and stuff like that here recently. It's new wire everywhere. Radar coming up, $2 grand. Thing almost that section is looking good. So I'm live again. So again, well, hope y'all enjoyed the slide around where I can get home or end of the day. For a while, I may just do this vertical live me, but 9 yards next time. Project will be look forward